Hey, this is going to be a very quick down and dirty fast cyanuric acid versus your chlorine. It doesn't matter what kind of chlorine you use. I'm pointing this out right now. This is off of our website. You can go there at hallpoolsupply.com and look at the chemical dosage chart menu. And now we'll give you, you can quickly look up how many gallons you have in your pool, whatever your test strip is reading. This will tell you how much of whatever product to put in. Now, I just want to concentrate on chlorine and point out, do you see anything? This is right off of the liquid chlorine boxes. Notice that you don't see anything on here that says, look, these are the right dosage amounts if your cyanuric acid, also known as stabilizer, also known as conditioner, is at 40 parts per million. Because this is the only way this works. But every time you read about chlorine, it's always going to say 3 parts per million, 3 to 5 in a commercial pool in America. And then in fine print under every product, it will always say, hey, make sure your cyanuric acid, aka stabilizer, aka conditioner, whatever you know it by, that stuff you have to put in the pool the first time when you fill it up, is at 40 and balanced, and then this is true. But looking at this, if your conditioner, aka stabilizer, cyanuric acid, is at 80, this chart has doubled on you. Does that make sense? That means that if you had a 20,000 gallon pool and you needed to raise the parts per million of chlorine in your pool by 2 parts, assuming that your cyanuric acid is at 40 to 50, then to raise it by 2 parts, you would put in for a 20,000 40 ounces. 20 gives you 1 part per million, another 20 would give you 2. But guess what? You're going to have to put in 80 ounces if your cyanuric acid is double your stabilizer or conditioner. So if it's sitting at 80, 20 ounces will not do it for you. 40 ounces is what it will take. Does that make sense? And really, I don't even think I need to go to all these tabs. I'll include the links. But watch, let's do this. So at 40 parts per million, that means if you take a drop of water, you count all the molecules until you get to 1,000,000, 40 of those molecules need to be your chlorine. Your cyanuric acid. So assuming that's true, this number here is going to dictate, it controls how much chlorine it takes to do the job. So you should be at 40. So you times this by 7.5%. There's the holy grail in the United States of America with our laws for residential that says 3 parts per million. Excuse the ambulance that went by. I'm in the shop working late. 3 parts per million is what it takes to kill algae in under a second if it tries to grow, or bacteria. Now watch. Again, I want to remind you that it doesn't say that your cyanuric acid needs to be at 40. This is just the general chlorine level, assuming that your cyanuric acid, also known as stabilizer, also known as conditioner by some, is at 40. Well, let's jack it up to 80. So if at 80, you already know it's going to take 6, right? Times 7.5%. Now, this chart has just doubled on you. Do you understand that? That has increased your chlorine demand, the amount of money you have to pay, by 2. Because now you have to keep your chlorine at a minimum of 6 to do what 3 used to do. I hope that's making sense. Now, if you want to read further and understand why you're putting chlorine in your pool, you're checking the chlorine levels, it's high, but nothing's happening, check your stabilizer, also known as cyanuric acid and conditioner. Check it. If you're clocking over 50, adjust the amount of chlorine. Now, this article here, this will tell you everything, and we live and die by this. This is what we do with our service pools, and it's the truth. And we make people, we have to, and we don't make them. I mean, they can if they want to, but we basically let them know that, look, your cyanuric acid is getting high, and now for your amount of money that you're paying, right, for your weekly pool service, assuming again that you're at 40 to 50 parts per million on your cyanuric acid, well, It's double the amount of chemicals that we would be putting in your pool when it goes to 80 and beyond. So we have to inform our clients, let them know you have to drain a little bit off, etc., and the pool will stay beautiful. Anyways, I'll include all these links that you have here, as well as the Wikipedia about chlorine. I encourage you, if you own a pool and you paid $30,000 or you own a $30,000 built-in pool, this is a great little Wikipedia to read about how chlorine is really working. You don't have to get all into it. It'll give you a general idea about what I just said. Now, the last thing I want to say is devices like chlorinators. See, everyone calls in, or I would too if I didn't know about this, because we hear that salt cells, I don't want a chlorine pool. A salt cell is your tabs. It's just replacing those 3-inch tabs that you're floating. So you'll spend about $1,500 for a device that will inject the chlorine into the pool without adding any cyanuric acid. You see, tablets are sitting on top of the water. They must be pressed with cyanuric acid or the chlorine won't even be there. Now, if you don't want to spend $1,500, you could get a mechanical device around $200. This, you will pour liquid chlorine into this. Now this is not assembled, but these tubes would be coming out and would be plumbed into your pool plumbing. So now the liquid chlorine is injected in very small amounts into your pool as your pump's running. Does that make sense? That's what your tablets are doing, but because they're floating on top of the water, they have to be pressed with cyanuric acid or mixed. So therefore, when you mix them with cyanuric acid, every single 1 part per million of chlorine that a tablet will introduce into your pool will also add 0.6 parts per million of the cyanuric acid. Anyways, I hope this has helped. You guys have a great Sunday. By the way, this is the night to check your water, balance your alkalinity, balance your pH, whatever you need to do, up your chlorine a little bit, and then check your free chlorine Wednesday. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.